Summon for Hutao or save your Primal Gems for Venti's rerun in patch 1.4. Welcome back to the channel, I'm Martingale, and today that's what we'll be discussing. As always with these who to pick videos, I'll be nothing but objective when discussing each character's strengths and weaknesses. Let's start with Hutao. She's currently the flavor of the month, the hot topic any stand on the block is talking about, and rightfully so, because she hits like an absolute monster. In terms of raw damage output, she do be packing. There's no doubt Hutao is one of, if not the hardest hitting unit in Genshin as of patch 1.3, at least at low constellations, because I honestly believe she's one of the rare characters that don't get much better with constellations, unlike her predecessors. Although C1 is a really nice quality of life improvement, it isn't vital to a kid. Hutao also has the best element in the game, being Pyro, having access to melt and vaporize. Just saying these two words feels like I'm beating a dead horse. That's because it's unanimous among the community that straight up damage multipliers are insane bonuses to have, as well as insane targets to compete against. What's more is that she has one of the lowest internal Pyro applications of the current roster of characters we have, allowing for constant melt or vaporize, being able to make quick work of even the beefiest enemies. She also has an ultimate that does one big instance of damage, allowing for record-breaking numbers with the right setup, but all that power doesn't come at no cost. Basically, she needs a team built specifically around her, requiring premium characters such as Zhongli to constantly protect her, or damage mitigation in the form of Xingqiu's Hydro Blades. She also requires quite a bit of skill to pull off, unlike most characters, with good health management to make sure she doesn't die to random bullshit flying around or accidentally setting yourself on fire. She also requires practice with her charged attack cancelling with dash or jumps to maximize her damage. I'll admit, I'm a boomer with boomer fingers, and cancelling is hard to do perfectly every time, but it is important to make sure she doesn't randomly dash off halfway across the map. Finally, she's lacking in the AoE department. Her charge attacks, which is one of the biggest damage outputs, doesn't allow her to damage multiple scattered enemies, at least without some god tier positioning and aiming or at least some luck. And the AoE of her ultimate is rather pathetic compared to any other 5-star characters that does AoE damage. On the other hand, we have Venti, which has been dominating tier lists ever since the start of the game, and rightfully so. Repositioning enemies and crowd control is a timeless utility that only Venti provides as of 1.3. Contrary to Hutao, Venti is a unit that you supplement into your team to make it better. He requires very low investment to work and scales decently well with heavy investments. Venti also has insanely high energy generation with his skill generating 3 Anemo particles per usage on a 6-second cooldown, which can be even further boosted with weapons such as Favonius or Sacrificial Warbow, making him the ultimate battery. Just like Hutao, he works just fine at C0, with each subsequent constellation being just a nice bonus that doesn't change the way he can be played. So if you get lucky and pull him in your first 10 pull, you're basically good to go. His best weapons are also 4 stars, so you don't have to go through the cesspool that is the weapon banner. One of the only late game content in the game that currently exists in the form of Abyss can be easily cheesed with characters such as Venti. Having trouble with floor 11 stage 2? Just slap Venti into your team and you're good to go. He simplifies the Abyss experience so much that you'll start hallucinating, thinking you're helping out your one friend you had just introduced to Genshin with a low level domain. With that being said, Venti's only weakness is miHoYo. Yes, you heard me. Venti is only limited by the type of enemies miHoYo decides to put out in the coming future, with recent trends showing miHoYo shifting away from defining difficult content as large groups of enemies from seemingly any direction to focusing on 1 or 2 big pain in the ass enemies that can't be sucked into Venti's vacuum. This is the most apparent in the latest iteration of Spiral Abyss, and I don't think this trend is going away anytime soon. Some of you might even remember that one event we had 2 months ago. Wait, that was 2 months ago, as well as that one annoying flower event we had. 2 events that prove that Venti isn't the end-all be-all character we all have been preaching all this while, and actual hard DPS units are required. Closing statement: Hutao, while being an insane late-game DPS, is not a beginner-friendly unit at all, requiring team comps built specifically around her, hard to obtain gacha or paid weapons, and specific artifacts to work, whereas Venti works well in any team comp with any leftover artifacts and any weapons at any given level. As always, this is an evaluation of character strengths and weaknesses. Your personal preference should always come first when deciding for a character to roll on. It's your game experience and you should play with your favorite team of characters. Well, that's it for the video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button, as well as give me a subscribe. It means the world to me. As always, I'll see you guys in the next Genshin Impact video. See you guys next time.